This is 95.5 KLOS Los Angeles. On the phone with me now is former radio commentator, author, raconteur, and friend of John and Yoko, Elliot Mintz. Elliot, you wrote an essay about John some time ago, and it just got put up on YouTube. I was reading it before I came to work tonight. It is absolutely eloquent, informative. You also read it as well as post the words. Tell us about this.
I'm not much of an internet person, Jim. I use the thing really for emails, but I've been working on a website for the past 87 years to try to place on the website excerpts of radio and television interviews that I did over the years and thoughts that I think might be of use to people having to do with meditation and other areas of my life besides the obvious. And somebody had suggested that a couple of years ago, Yoko edited a book called Memories, and she asked a number of people who knew John to each write their own essay. So the book would be made up not of her, she just wrote the foreword, but of various individuals. So I wrote an essay. I promise you it does not approximate Norman Mailer, but it was there, and I was thinking of something that I could contribute beyond my usual interviews on this occasion. So I put the essay, it's about 22 pages, up on the net, and then somebody told me that nobody goes on YouTube to read anything. So I just read it for them so they can have their eyes closed or burn a candle and listen to me read the essay. Now, as to how you get there, I think you basically go on to YouTube and then you type in Elliot Mintz remembers John Lennon. So
and it's Elliot, E-L-L-I-O-T, M-I-N-T-Z, remembers John Lennon. I highly recommend you do this.
And by the way, if you go on it, it's like it says you've got to subscribe, but you don't have to subscribe to anything, and you don't have to pay anything for it. It's just there for the asking. I just have this feeling that if people go on regular YouTube, they're going to see that other Elliot Mintz, the media guy. But if you cut through all of that and just type Elliot Mintz Memories of John Lennon, for those who care and for those who need to, they'll find it, and I'll be able to speak with them that way.
Well, I highly recommend that you do. It's worth it. Let us get back to the relationship John and Yoko had. You wanted to speak more to that point and about love in general.
Well, you asked me, the sensation that I had when I first met them, and the sensation that I had through most of the years that I was with them. We use that expression frequently of a couple falling in love. I always quibbled over the word falling, and I'm not certain where the in is. But I know this, that if you are in the presence of a couple that truly shares their love, then you were embraced by that experience as if you were being surrounded by the Holy Spirit. It's not all that different from being in church. So I was enveloped, I was intoxicated, I was seduced, I was inspired, I was excited about being in the presence of a man and a woman working together, living together, loving together, creating together through a spirit of love that manifested itself in a way that we all felt it. Now, I wasn't wrong in that assessment. If I was, we wouldn't be talking about them now, 30 years after John fell. So one of the bigger lessons to learn from John and Yoko is to try and avoid being in the presence who find themselves in hate, in discord.
That's a very astute point. Now let's talk about the word love for a moment, because that's really, I was trying to boil something down in my mind. You know, I was trying to like not reduce, but I was trying to come up with something that I could say to my listeners tonight. If I had to pick just one attribute, let's say, for John Lennon's message, not him as a person, but the message that John Lennon tried to instill to us, whether it would be in a song like Revolution or A Power to the People or All You Need Is Love, it was that word love for him, wasn't it?
Yes, and you.
Yes, and, meaning the person listening.
Yes. In other words, John never wanted your vote. He never wanted your support. He didn't necessarily want your direct participation. You didn't have to send him anything. He wanted to awaken in you your spirit. He would sing in a number of his songs that it was about you taking your own independent action, not to follow him. That's not something that he welcomed, and that's one of the reasons he referred to himself as a working-class hero. He wanted you to evoke that sense in you where you would be in touch with your own love, where you wouldn't get hung up on John and Yoko's love. And in his political songs, when it came to songs like Revolution, he was saying that you have to, on your own, discover those qualities within you that are revolutionary, that are new, that are different, that are exciting, that are brave, that are edgy. Don't follow his interpretation of it. Don't follow his way. And, by the way, don't follow him.
Exactly. Exactly.
So when it came to love, all of his music and virtually all of his pronouncements were there to induce in yourself that sensation. Baba Ram Das once said, "Nothing is ever learned, only remembered." So every now and then we come across people on the path who remind us of stuff we always knew. During the course of my years with John and Yoko, and I've known Yoko now for over 40 years, more than half my life, what happens when I am in her company and what happened every day that I was with John, and during hundreds and hundreds of hours of conversation, is that I had to understand she wasn't teaching me anything. They were just reminding all of us, the collective we, all that we know. So during the course of your broadcast this evening, and I've been listening to it, when we hear these songs and people who are listening to the radio show hear the music, what he is doing is striking a resonant chord. In fact, he's not giving you anything that you didn't know, but he is once again awakening you. He's awakening you today, 30 years after his passing, to that which is you.
Very well said. Very well said.